It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. John Jones.
Our planet is experiencing an increasing number of alarming and distressing calamities. Although all are deserving of national attention, international attention perhaps, there is one in particular that I'd like to bring to our consideration today. I feel that we, as public speakers, Toastmasters, motivators, educators in our communities, right here in Arkansas, can contribute, make a difference in the world for generations to come. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, it's been estimated that in our country alone, we use approximately 2.5 million plastic water bottles each and every hour. You thought I was going to say each and every day, didn't you? Each and every hour. An astounding figure. That translates to 25 billion plastic water bottles each and every year. If you were to take all of the water bottles that we use in a year, circle around the earth not once, not twice, not a dozen times, 190 times. And even with the best intentions, consumers end up throwing away 7 out of 10 plastic water bottles, leaving only 3 to go to the recycling bin. What's the ultimate outcome? Most of you are probably aware of what's become known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It's a floating pile of plastic sludge and debris. Some have estimated in size to be as large as the state of Texas. Others say that it's as large or larger than the continental United States. It's floating somewhere between Hawaii and California. And guess what? We found another one. There's a second accumulation of debris that's been recently discovered on the Atlantic side, dubbed the North Atlantic Garbage Patch. It's roughly the same size and stature. These garbage patches form in areas of the ocean called gyres. A gyre is an area of the ocean that's relatively slow-moving water surrounded by fast ocean currents. The ocean currents create a vortex. Plastic and debris and garbage floats into it, accumulates over time, and can't escape. There are now thought to be 5 major oceanic gyres on our planet. All are believed to have started to assemble big plastic garbage patches within them. Plastic in seawater breaks down over a period of time. Of course, it forms smaller pieces of plastic and polymers. The effects spell a fate, which is nothing short of heart-wrenching at the least, and extinguishing for some species of marine life at the most. The albatross, in particular, is a sea-dwelling bird inhabiting the atolls and islands of these regions. Normally, the albatross feeds on little fish right below the surface of the water. And of course, what's happening? It's mistaking little tiny shiny pieces of plastic for its food source. And what's more, it's taking it back to its nest and it's feeding it to its young. Alarmingly, increasing numbers of young albatrosses are found dying of starvation, malnutrition. They're found with little pieces of plastic, cutlery, bottle caps, plastic lighters, little pieces of plastic water bottles, and plastic bags in their stomachs. So ask yourselves 2 questions. Is this how we want to leave our world to our children and our grandchildren? And perhaps more importantly, what can be done about it? I would think the answer to the first question, a resounding no. The answer to the second question, perhaps a bit more complex. According to sources, even if a world power such as the United States were to take on the task of trying to clean up the mess, we don't possess the resources or the means to do so. And we're way beyond the point of no return to actually clean the water. So I guess we have to accept the fact that many species will peril from this experience. However, there may be a way to reduce the plastic that gets to the gyres. Action step number 1, we could all be better recyclers. There are many recycling resources available to us right here in Arkansas. They're efficient, easy to use, affordable. Use them, please. Number 2, you can buy a refillable water bottle and a filtration system. One Brita filter can replace 300 of these. One filter can replace up to 300 of these. Number 3, perhaps most importantly, teach this information to your children, to your grandchildren, so that they can become better stewards of the earth. If every American household would simply reduce their water intake by bottles by half and use a refillable water system, we would keep over 200 million pounds of plastic out of our landfills and away from our oceans. Right now, each of you can make a pledge. How many people would be willing to do so if you're not already doing it? To go out and buy a water bottle, buy a filtration system, help the ecology? Imagine, good for you, imagine a world in which we reinvent, reuse, recycle our most precious resources. Imagine a world that we leave a little better than it was when we got here. It's got to start somewhere. How about right here, right now? Mr. Toastmaster.